like the Chovot says, people say, he said this to a person, he says, he says, in America they say, time is money. Time is money, yeah. The guy's 3 buildings over. Time is money. He says, no, just the opposite. Money is time. If you have money, then you have time. Then you have time to do special things with time. You have no money, then you have to infringe on what you have to do, because you have to earn. You need money. That's a kemach in Torah. But if you have the kemach, you have time to do special things with that time. Same idea. With that, he said, what is the most obvious and the most impressive and the most revealed entity in existence where we see God's wisdom and God's kindness? Is that the human being himself. The creation of the human being, the function of the human being, the level of, he's the composite, how he's put together, how he functions, all the aspects of the human being. Firstly, where does man begin from and how he's born? Just that alone. Conception to birth. It's amazing. Gemara says Cleopatra, Marnita, she shared with one of the Tanoim, what was she amazed? She was amazed how this colorless fluid is able to fertilize the egg and develop into a fetus, and you have flesh and you have skin and you have sinews and you have bone and you have hair and you have eyes and you have color, different texture. How does this happen? It's amazing. She was amazed. Just the actual conception and how it evolves, and the gestation period and how the child comes out. And the other thing she was amazed, an animal, when it carries its fetus, there's a flank of it walks on 4. The fetus, based on gravity, even though the calf, before it's born, is heavy, it lies on what? It lies on the floor of the mother's. There's a flank of flesh. A woman stands erectly. So the child is suspended. Why doesn't the child fall out of its mother? Based on gravity, the child will fall out. But yet, the body retains the unborn child, the fetus, until it's ready to be born. She said, it's amazing. So going from conception to birth, you see endless things which we don't understand. It shouldn't happen as it's happening, but it's happening. So this is chokhmah sabore. You see the genius and the kindness of the Creator, otherwise man could never come about. It's interesting, when they started with the fertility, you could fertilize the egg in a petri dish and this and that, and you implant it. It's amazing. But nobody's amazed that God created this concept of conception. He's like God. What about God? Are you impressed with God? What are you impressed with Him? Nobel Prize in medicine. You're impressed with the man, but you forgot about God, the one who created the whole process, who wills the process. And how many times does it fail? With God, most times it works. Conception, most times. This, and what did you have to pay for it? What was the fee that you had to pay? There was a case many years ago. This person was already married for many. He had no children. Wasn't observant. And I went to him, and I had a relationship with him. I said a shir in his office. He was just all his connection to Yiddishkeit. He belonged to KJ. His wife came from a Reform family, so on and so forth. And I said to him, there's such a thing as family purity, which you don't keep. But he had a very weak background. His wife had no background whatsoever. I said, maybe if you commit yourself that you're going to keep Taras Mishpacha, family purity, and that merit, you'll conceive. Your wife will conceive. So he called up his wife. They were committed. I'm not talking with all the every application, but the actual not to cohabit unless when she's menstruating and she has to go to the mikveh. That much. They committed to that. Committed. What happens? They were about to take a vacation. They went to South Africa. When she was in South Africa, she went to the mikveh. She conceived in South Africa after the mikveh. Okay, that's the story. You know, you couldn't conceive, so who causes conceive? No, you didn't have to pay the $25,000, down payment plus, didn't have to. Who's impressed? Who's impressed with God? These things happen. Okay, they happen. With the doctors you pay it, they don't happen. Then you appreciate it. Okay? Of course. It's called in English taking it for granted. The person has a job. Then all of a sudden you realize people are getting the pink slips. And you thought you were, you took it for granted. You got the degree, you have the experience, you're guaranteed. All of a sudden you realize there's no guarantees. People are getting and you were already working for the company 30 years, they just sent away a person who was there 40 years. You're senior. Because they could get somebody for $5,000 less to pay a salary. All of a sudden you're opening your eyes. It's not so simple. So why are you here? Why haven't you been sent away yet? Okay, so now you start understanding what it's about. To be continued.